Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva Jaya, Guru Deva Jaya, Guru Deva Jaya, Guru Deva. Sankirtana ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So read the invocation from page 1. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Paritana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shri. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome. So we just had a nice celebration of Gaur Purnima, right? So who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Krishna. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is the special features of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Mahavadanya, which means?
He is a very merciful.
Very. Maha, so very merciful? Huh?
Very, very merciful.
The most merciful. Mahavadanya. So the supreme merciful. And why do we say that He is the most merciful? What is the facts, the evidence? Is that a matter of opinion or what? So why is He called Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate? So why is He called the most merciful?
He devote himself.
You just said He was Krishna.
He is a Krishna. He himself is a devotee, and devotee can be merciful.
Okay, so devotees are merciful, right? How are devotees merciful?
Because He distributes pure love of Krishna to everyone.
Krishna Prema Pradayate. We say Namo Maha Vadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. So He is most merciful because He is giving this Krishna Prema to everyone. Everyone means everyone.
All
Does the diamond dealer give diamonds to everybody?
We wish.
We wish. Who does the diamond dealer give diamonds to?
Who gives the money?
Who gives the money? Does the university give a diploma to everybody? Who do they give the diploma to?
Pays for it.
Those who pay for it, who qualify, who study. Right? Does the medical school give the doctor's certificate to everybody?
No.
We hope not. Right? So these things are given with some exchange. Right? It is some exchange. And we know to buy some rocks from the store, how much you have to give? Lots or little?
Depend upon the rock.
Yeah, some basic rocks, ordinary common rocks.
By the square foot.
Yeah, nothing, right?
Cubic foot, yeah.
Nothing. For a handful of sand, how much it cost? Nothing. Handful of diamonds, how much it cost?
Lot.
A lifetime, right? Weight is the same, no? You know, you can say, half a pound of sand or half a pound of diamonds. So we have to give in accordance to the value we are receiving, right? That is what we see in society. But we know when the store has a big sale, lots of discounts, then we become happy. Why do we become happy?
Getting a
Big
cheaper.
discount.
Big discount. So I get something big for
Less
less money, right? It's a deal. Right? Black Friday, we look forward to it. We open the papers and get all the coupons, really make our plan because I'm getting a lot for a little investment. Right? So that way we become very excited and happy and grateful. Okay? So, in Krishna's case, he is coming in the mood of a devotee and he is giving Krishna prema. And what is the price he is asking for this Krishna prema?
Bhakti.
Chant.
Just chant.
Nothing.
Just actually just have some faith and chant. But there's one problem in our understanding. When somebody offers me a handful of diamonds, I'm eager to receive and take. But when someone is offering Krishna prema, what is my eagerness? Not sure. Right? Not sure. Right? So we don't have yet a full understanding of its value. That's okay. We are still developing. But we can take faith. I always give the same example. If you offer to a child a handful of chocolates or a handful of diamonds, what will they take?
Chocolate.
Chocolates.
Always. But is that the right decision?
For his knowledge, it is a right.
But that does. I didn't ask. Is it right decision or not wrong?
Wrong decision.
Of course. Doesn't matter. His knowledge, the decision is wrong. Because he could take those diamonds, sell them, and buy many, many, many times more chocolate. I'm not saying he has to have diamonds. But if he wants chocolate, the best means is to. But because of knowledge, he's not understanding that, right? So it's innocent ignorance. So similarly, if you offer, a playful child some nice sand or diamond, they'll say sand. It's smooth, it's nice, I can play. So we chase after things in this material world, not having an understanding of what the real valuable things are. So this Krishna prema, this love of Krishna, is explained in our Shastra as the ultimate, the greatest of all achievements. There is nothing higher one can acquire. If I have diamonds, can I say this is the greatest thing I can acquire? Well, there must be something more valuable. Maybe I don't know, maybe I know, but there's things like this. But when it comes to this point now, the ultimate, greatest thing one can achieve, it is Krishna prema. And why? Because Krishna prema, love of Krishna, this is the source of our eternal peace and happiness. Why do we want some diamonds?
Yes, we think we will buy happiness.
We think we'll get some happiness. Why do we want, a BMW? Why do we want a mansion? Why do we want fame? Why do we want beauty? All these things we want in some varying degrees. We all have our own specific wants because we think it'll give us some happiness. But we know that happiness we get from it, even if we get it, it'll last very short-lived. So if something we could get would give us unlimited happiness and eternal, what is the price we would put on that? We'll put a price on the BMW. We'll put a price on the mansion. How hard we'll work day in, day out to achieve that. So much effort. So what is the price we would put on eternal bliss and happiness?
It's priceless.
It's priceless. Yet Krishna is giving for very little investment. And thus, he is called Namo Mahavadanaya. Because why? Krishna Prema Pradayate. He's giving to all of us this Krishna Prema. With very low price he's asking. Just some faith. And we heard last week or week before that, very appropriately, the pastime of a Jamil. Right? What is the essence of that pastime of a Jamil?
Chanting.
Calling Krishna's name even unknowingly, he got. He was forgiven for all his sins that he has done.
Isn't that almost unimaginable? How, by even indirectly calling Narayan, he was saved from the most difficult of circumstances he was about to endure. The power of the holy names. And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying? You take these holy names and you chant them anytime, any place. I'm not even putting hard, fast rules and regulations. Just chant. Because he knows these names are so powerful, as we saw in the pastimes of Ajamil. Because we know these other forms of purification. How did Parikshit Maharaj, what did he compare it to? These other forms of purification?
An elephant bathing and then throwing mud on his back.
An elephant bath.
False atonement.
Right? An elephant takes bath and immediately throws dirt back on itself. This is what we do. We sin, then we do some atonement, and then we sin, do some atonement, sin, atonement, and this cycle continues. But real purification happens from first the heart, and that is through good chanting. So we are very fortunate. The timing of these verses coincided very nicely with discussing the pastime of Ajamil, and then discussing the glorious appearance of Lord Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Mahavadanaya, most merciful, who gave us only one instruction: chant, chant, chant. But why are we not able to chant so attentively, so perfectly? Lack of faith, impurities in the heart, these things, right? Because I was able to achieve, other things with great effort. My diploma, my degree. Why? I had faith in its value, so I made it happen.
And we also desired for that.
Yeah, you have strong desire, and that inspired action. And that desire is born on faith, that this is good for me. So how to build our faith in chanting? We must understand its real value. And so this verse we'll discuss today now gives us a very important topic called Vyavesatmika Buddhi, this fixed intelligence. So let's read the 41st verse and then we'll discuss. Would you like to read it?
Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched.
Okay.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasatmika intelligence. The faith means unflinching trust in something sublime when one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness. We need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family tradition, humanity, or nationality. Preventive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Su Durlabhai. A person in Krishna consciousness is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayers for the spiritual master as follows: Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, Yasya prasadanna gayat kutopi, dhyayan stvam stasya Yasastri Satyam Vande Guru Shri Karnam Varindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying his spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisance unto him, my spiritual master. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically. When there is no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities, one who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts.
Okay, so Krishna is saying those who are on this path are resolute in purpose. What path is Krishna speaking of here? Yeah, and specifically what spiritual path? Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness. Right? So this Bhakti Yoga, Krishna is going to tell us at the end of the 6th chapter, Yoginam api sarvesha madgyate nantaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamataha. This is the highest of all yoga. This is bhakti. So he's saying those on this path are resolute in purpose. What does resolute in purpose mean?
You are strongly determined to do it.
Okay, so strongly determined. What else? Huh? Ultimate. Unwavering and faith. Yeah. Any other?
There is a purpose for what they are doing.
There's a purpose.
Right? Whatever path they are following.
Yeah. So they are inspired by some purpose, and that makes them resolute, right? So, have we had resolute purpose in some activities in our life? Yeah, right. Many times. To achieve some difficult things, we know we need to be resolute. Other times, have we been irresolute? And what happens to the desired result? Sometimes comes, sometimes doesn't. Maybe it's long delayed. Okay? So this is the nature of resolute and irresolute. Right? So the resolute purpose, it's based on knowledge, right? So let's take the example of, graduating from college. Easy or hard? Hard. Takes time. It's effort, energy, right? It's work. We know in college some are very resolute in that purpose and some are irresolute, right? And we are in one of those 2 categories, right? And maybe in between, right?
That shows in the results.
And it shows in the results, right? Those who are resolute in purpose, what is their outcome? Strong results. And those who are irresolute in purpose, not so much, right? So why are some people resolute in purpose?
Strong desires.
Strong desire. They're determined. And what fuels their determination? What fuels their desire?
They know they can do it.
Okay, they know they can do it.
They want to do it.
Okay, but what drive?
The final fruit of the...
Okay, so the result. But the irresolute person also knows the result, but the resolute person also knows the result. What's the difference in their knowledge of result?
They realize the value of the result.
Okay. So can we say one has stronger conviction in that result than the other? Right? So if one is strongly convinced of the result, then resolute action comes. If we are wishy-washy, uncertain of the result, then our actions to achieve such thing is also going to be
Minimal.
irresolute. A little bit wishy-washy, right? So we should understand that being resolute in this path, that is the highest of achievement. Right? What does Prabhupada say in the opening statement defining this term vyavasayatmika buddhi, this fixed intelligence? What does he say about that? But what's read the whole sentence very carefully.
The purport?
Yep.
A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life.
Stop. Right there. Read that again.
His highest perfection of life.
Anybody does not want highest perfection of life? Every single person. Nobody is looking for anything else but the highest perfection of life. That's what we all want. Nobody wants, give me imperfect. We all want perfection of life. We define it in many different varieties, what perfection of life means. But the goal is one. The goal is one. And we know in our own life, if we examine back from our early childhood to our youthhood to our early adulthood, and then depending on where you are, go. How many different definitions of perfection of life have we had?
Many.
In our own life.
Many.
Right? When we are a child of 5 years old, that definition of perfection life is the same we have today?
No.
So because of that, our definition of perfection of life has been evolving. So what happens to our resolute purpose to achieve these different things? Keeps changing. So as Krishna says in the second half of the verse, O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. So when we're irresolute, try this, try that, we don't ultimately achieve really anything. So, but the highest perfection of life, according to Vyavesatmika Buddhi, how is it achieved?
Faith of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, Krishna consciousness. This is the path. But it requires faith. Right? So Prabhupada says, not just faith, he says, strong, absolute, unflinching faith in Krishna consciousness. That, when we have absolute faith that by Krishna consciousness I'll achieve perfection of life, then I've achieved Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. This fixed intelligence. Just like when I had unflinching faith that degree, that diploma would take me to a place I want to go, either in income status, professional status, societal status, something. I had strong faith in that. Then my activities became resolute. When the distractions came, to go watch a movie, to go to a party, to go do this, to go do that, if whatever it was got in the way of my goal, I said no. I was able to remain focused. Why? Strong faith in that goal. So how to become fixed in devotional service? I'm chanting, but sometimes I don't feel like it, so I don't do. I'm reading, sometimes I feel like I'm doing. We're irresolute. So how to become determined, resolute? We have to have faith in Krishna consciousness. That it will give me, what?
Absolute perfection.
Absolute perfection of life. Because just think about it now. This is a fact. It is an unequivocal, undebatable fact. Only by Krishna consciousness will one find perfection of life. That is not up for debate by my opinion, your opinion, or anyone else's opinion. That is a fact. Because we are part and parcel of Krishna, Mamaibamcho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Because of that unequivocal, eternal fact, the source of my perfection is with Krishna. That's the fact. Now, my following that Krishna consciousness will occur when there is faith. And when I have faith that this is the perfection of life, then what other activities would I pursue? Anything else? No. Do I have to work hard to say no to all these other activities? No. It becomes easy. So then my purpose becomes resolute and more fast. I achieve my goal more directly. I'm no longer many-branched. I am single in purpose. Single in purpose, not by, intense austerity to negate the senses and to say no to all the temptations. That's hard. How I become resolute? With strong faith that this is the perfection of life. All these other things are not going to give me what I want. Why I would waste my time there? What I am going to gain from that? So that's why Srila Prabhupada writes that when one is situated in Krishna consciousness, the highest perfection of life, of Krishna consciousness, is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is, what does he say? Automatically achieved. Think about that for a second. What is the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness? Now, renunciation of material conception of life. Easy or hard? Hard or very hard? So how is that automatically achieved? By what? Prabhupada says in the next sentence.
By progressive Krishna consciousness.
By progressive Krishna consciousness. Very important word. What's the important word in there? Progressive. What does progressive mean?
Insurance.
Insurance, yes.
I was just like,
Little by little, like keep progressing.
Baby steps, little by little progressing. And what happens as we progress little by little? What is the result of that? Our faith increases. As our faith increases, what happens? We become more strong. We become more resolute. As we become more resolute, what happens to our activities in Krishna consciousness?
we start renunciating material
We,
conception of life.
we do more Krishna consciousness. What's the result of more Krishna consciousness?
Perfection of life.
Perfection.
No, progressive. Yeah. But so when I do a little bit more Krishna consciousness, what happens there? More
I want to do more.
more faith. My faith gets stronger. As my faith gets stronger, I become more resolute. As I become more resolute, I do more Krishna consciousness. What's the result of doing more Krishna consciousness? More strong, more resolute, more faith. And what happens to all my material attachments? Where'd they go? I don't even know. They automatically become renounced. Why? Because my faith in spiritual life is building step by step, step by step, step by step. And this is how Krishna has designed this most wonderful system of devotional service. That, by step, as our faith builds, then we can be resolute in purpose. Because let us be assured, nothing we have achieved in life of meaningful value occurs without some dedicated effort, with some resolute purpose. So to achieve the highest perfection of life, it also requires resolute purpose. And what, again, just as a reminder, what is going to fuel that resolute purpose? Faith. Faith that Krishna consciousness will lead to the highest perfection of life. That is the faith we are working towards. And that is Vyavasatmika Buddhi. And so Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur now takes that concept. So having this fixed intelligence that having $1 billion is not going to give me perfection of life. Having fixed intelligence, unwavering, that by Krishna consciousness I'll achieve perfection of life, that is Vyavasatmika Buddhi. That is the fixed intelligence. And so the question is, how to get that? So now, let's go to this part. How do we achieve this faith? So that we can become resolute, so that we can build faith, that we can become renounced from material desires, and become fully convinced and single-minded in purpose. How do we achieve that? By chanting. And how do I learn to come to the process of chanting? Reading. And how do I come to the process of reading?
The association of the
And the association
with the Guru.
with the Guru. So Prabhupada writes, service in Krishna consciousness is best practice under the guidance of the spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna. So Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur tells us, what is fixed Vyavasatmika Buddhi? Fixed faith in the instruction of Guru. Why? Because what is Guru going to instruct us on? How to practice Krishna consciousness. So just follow the instruction of Guru and everything becomes revealed. So now it has become really laser focused. And he's composed this beautiful stanza. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado. Yasya prasada nagati katopi. Yasya prasadad yasya bhagavat prasado. That by serving the Guru, one is serving Krishna. One should take to the service of Guru. Why? Because by learning to serve Guru, one will learn to serve Krishna. Guru is not looking to take service for their satisfaction. The bona fide Guru is taking service as a service to Krishna, to connect the living entity back to their Supreme Father. So, it's sometimes difficult. Surrender to Krishna, what that means, how do I know? That's not. So Krishna manifests himself. He says, bona fide representative. He's the Paramatma, the Chaitya Guru in the heart, is manifested in the form of Guru Tattva. And so now, following the instructions of Guru, surrendering to Guru, that's a little bit more tangible for me. And thus, I can make progress in achieving faith. That, what do I want? What is the goal of my faith? That Krishna consciousness is the what?
Highest perfection. Will lead to highest perfection.
We should write that on a sticky note and put it on the mirror of our bathroom so while we're brushing our teeth every morning. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness I achieve the highest perfection of life. You have to brush 2 minutes. So you can read a few times. But we should really strongly cement that into our heart. And if we then take to the process of chanting, begging Krishna, Krishna, please, give me the faith that this is actually the truth. Give me the faith. Help me build my faith that this is the perfection of life. It will come. by progressive steps. Don't expect a light switch. A light switch is a light switch. Going up those stairs happens in one step? No, a series of steps. Then you reach the next floor. So like that, our spiritual life, it's a series of steps. But we should know what is the goal. The goal, Krishna Prema, the highest perfection of life. And who came to give this to us?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So we beg Gauranga Mahaprabhu, please help me achieve this faith so that I can become resolute in purpose. And when we serve Krishna, final comment we'll make, topic we'll discuss today. This purport we could discuss for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Actually, there's so much content in this purport. But it takes faith. Prabhupada makes a pretty strong statement in the second paragraph, right on the top of page 109. Faith means sublime, trust in something sublime, right? In that paragraph, anything there a little bit unsettling, or maybe you have a question? Read that paragraph again to yourself. The top of page 109 that says faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. That paragraph.
Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When once engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not to act a relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions. Humanity, nationality, festivity, activities are engagements of one's reactions from fast to good.
So just stop there for a second. How does that sit with you? Comfortable?
No obligations to humanity.
No obligations to humanity. Family traditions? Nationality? We should just throw them all out? Anybody unsettled by that statement? Be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. It's natural. So we should understand now why that's the case. Why is that the case is very important. So Prabhupada gives the answer in the next paragraph, in the 4th line. When he says, as by. Read that sentence out loud. 4th line in the next paragraph.
As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc.
Now, what is our emotion reaction to the first sentence we read?
It's a reverse.
So Krishna consciousness is not about neglecting humanity, not about neglecting family traditions, not about neglecting national associations, but actually the highest service to all of them is done through,
Krishna consciousness.
and the example that is given is? Okay, so let's take this example and really understand it. You have a giant mango tree with hundreds of soon-to-be ripe mango fruit, but they need some water to become more ripe. How do you deliver water to each of those mangoes on the hundreds of branches? How do you deliver water to each of those mangoes?
By root.
By watering the root? Come on now. I have 2 buckets of water. I have walked 5 miles to get very valuable buckets of water. And you're telling me I have to pour the water into the ground? to water the mangoes? No. I need to sprinkle them up top. I need to throw the water on the mangoes. And you'll all say what? No. Why not?
Because we know with perfection and faith that if you give the water to the roots, it will go there.
You know with perfect faith and knowledge that by putting water into the ground, you don't even see the roots, right? You don't see them, but you know they're there. Because someone with knowledge has told you, and by your own practice and experience, your faith is built. The first time somebody told you, you may have had doubt. But you started watering the root. And as you saw the tree grow, you started to realize, yes. So your faith built that this is actually the way to nourish all of the branches of the tree. By watering the root. But that took some faith and knowledge. If our own idea came, we would not put water down. 100%. We might get some syringe and try to inject it in the mango. We might try all kinds of crazy ideas. But we would not put water down to get it up. That we would not do. So this is indicative to us, instructive to us. We cannot mentally concoct our own ideas of how to achieve these goals of family life, of traditions, of nationality, of humanity. We should understand through Shastra. In here, we are told how best to serve humanity, how best to serve our family,
Serving Krishna.
how best to serve our nation,
Serving Krishna.
because it is the root of all existence. When you get to the root, then everything else automatically becomes nourished. So spiritual life is not about balance. Let me water the root and let me also water the mango. That makes no sense. I water the root to water the mango. Understand? So, one with knowledge knows that when one practices Krishna consciousness, one actually is serving all. Now, one may think this is very selfish statements. Because you are worried about you and serving Krishna, and now you are just turning a blind eye with some maybe blind faith that Krishna will take care of your family, will take care of your nation, right? But let us understand what is the service of the devotee. One who is in Krishna consciousness. Who are they serving? Krishna. And how do they serve Krishna? Huh? By serving everyone. Why?
Because Krishna is everywhere.
Krishna is in everybody.
Okay, because Krishna is in everybody.
Krishna is satisfied when his devotees are satisfied.
Because Krishna is satisfied when?
His devotees are satisfied.
Okay, but what about the non-devotees?
They are also his child,
They're also his child.
lost child.
Lost child. And so what is going to please Krishna the most?
Bring them back.
Serving the lost child. Bringing them back to their eternal Father. Krishna says at the end of this Bhagavad Gita, if you want to have it in unequivocal terms, he says, one who explains this knowledge to someone is most dear to me. And then he ups the statement even further and says, and there is no one more dear to me. So the devotee, the one in Krishna consciousness, is trying to bring their entire family back to Krishna. Their entire community, their entire nation, the whole of humanity. Because they are all Krishna's lost children. So service to Krishna is bringing all of their children back to their eternal Father. Because we know, when a mother and father is separated from their child, you can give them $1 million. Will they be happy? You can give them the most palatable buffet of foods. Will they be happy? Luxury, anything. No. What will make them happy?
Child has to come
Returning their child back. And if that one person brings their child back, will there be a day in the rest of that mother and father's life that they will not remember that person who brought their child back to them? So imagine how pleased Krishna would become when we bring and help his lost children return home. So Krishna consciousness is not a selfish endeavor. Actually, it's a full endeavor of giving. And Srila Prabhupada is a perfect example. He was at the age of 70, living on the banks of the Yamuna and at the edge of Seva Kunj in Rishi Vrindavan Dham, in the most perfect of place to practice spiritual life. Retirement age. And what did he do? He left it all. Boarded a steamship, not a cruise ship, not a business class plane seat, not even a middle seat. He left to join a cargo ship and landed in the most hellish of places. Why? Why?
to bring the lost child.
To serve humanity, out of compassion, to bring Krishna's lost children back. This is the mood of a devotee. Para dukkha dukhi. They have no dukh. Their only dukh is seeing the suffering of others. And so thus they serve. So Krishna consciousness is not a selfish endeavor. It is an endeavor to please Krishna by serving all of his devotees and all of his non-devotees, helping them come to that platform. So it is thus why, what is the only activity that can achieve perfection of life? There's nothing else. Nothing is left out. Nothing is but this, but that. And that is why Krishna consciousness is not about balance. Remove this terminology from our consciousness. Because if you try to balance one foot in one boat and another foot in a second boat, where do you end up most times?
In the water.
In the water. It is about becoming resolute in purpose. So our goal is to become squarely, firmly planted in the boat of Krishna consciousness. With full faith that by serving Krishna, anything else will be left behind?
No.
Any of my desires will become unfulfilled? Anything I will lose by giving up and taking 129.72% to Krishna consciousness? Anything will be left? So that is the faith we are building towards. That's Vyavasatmika Buddhi. And that faith will take step by step to reach. But that is what we should have absolute conviction is the key to perfection of life. Okay? Thank you. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Any questions, comments? I'm sure I rattled all of you, so sorry, but that's the reality. Let's have some discussion. Yes.
Paragraph that we were just reading, the next line of that is, if Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. Could you please elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, there's some very powerful statements because again, Krishna is the source of all success. sometimes in practical matter, we see that maybe our practice of Krishna consciousness, sometimes maybe our family will become upset. Right? It happens. It's a natural. But actually, our practice of Krishna consciousness is bringing great benedictions to our family. Why? Because Krishna attributes our practice of bhakti to the merits we have gained from all of our family. Krishna does not think, okay, this is my devotee that's practicing Krishna consciousness. I exclusively will reciprocate with them. When that devotee is practicing Krishna consciousness, all the different personalities who are involved in allowing that person to come to Krishna consciousness get benefit. They all get benefit. So while they may externally reject and maybe become upset, no problem. Because my practice of bhakti is actually bringing them great benefit, great purification of heart, great advancement, so that they also themselves will come. And this is proven in Srimad Bhagavatam over and over again, most prolifically, when Lord Nrsimhadev offers the benediction to Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj says, please forgive my father. And he says, your father has already been liberated. Not only your father, 21 generations. Why? Because you have become my devotee. Because you have become my devotee. 21 generations forward, back, and also 21 generations in the future. So Krishna is so liberal. So liberal. So that is why when we take to Krishna consciousness, everything becomes satisfied. It's said that even a small percentage of the population becomes Krishna conscious. Actually, the whole world can become like Satyuga. All of Kali Yuga can become overturned by just a small percentage, not even 100%, because it's so overarching. It's so vast in the mercy. So that's what I mean. But again, just like I need faith to put water down so that it'll go up, I need to have faith that this is the source of truly settling. Otherwise, what happens? One foot in one boat and another in the boat. I have to do these activities. I have to take care of this activity. You actually do have to take care of those activities. We owe great debt to our ancestors, to our family lineage, to our society, to the devatas, to nature, all the things that are supporting. We owe debts to all of them. 110%. But how to satisfy those debts? You cannot do them one by one. You don't even have enough wall space to put all the pictures of all the persons we owe debts to so that we can worship them. So that's why Krishna says, Sarva dharmam parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. You surrender, just abandon it. Surrender everything and worship me. Then all that becomes satisfied. Just like one root nourishes all the branches. It's okay? Any other questions, comments? Full faith in chanting? Yes. Ready? Okay. Thank you. So Prabhupada ki jai. Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Arjun. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara